So basically, I'm talking about selling your brand online. Can everybody hear me?
Very well. We can hear you very well.
That's fine. So I tagged the selling your brands online 1.0. So I'm going to assume that everybody is a new person in this. It's always best so that you don't leave some people out. And then I'll go deeper into it. So this is especially for the What Next Business Conference. And first of all, I'll coin it into two basic things: know your purpose and then sell your brand. Yes, we are Christians and purpose is deep, but also when you know your purpose, you'll be able to understand which brand to sell, your products and everything. So what are you selling basically? You need to identify your brand. What is the product you're selling? What is the service you're selling? Have a clear direction about what you want to sell and why you want to sell it. Our advice: you don't just sell for money. Yes, we need the money, but sometimes when you tie it into your purpose, what God has called you to, and meeting a need and providing a solution, you realize that the brand will sell for itself as well. Pastor Paula made mention of the fact that you need to provide solutions. So a lot of times you need to provide solutions. That's what people are willing to pay money for. Who are you selling to? So in marketing, you need to have your target audience, who are basically the people. You need to have your consumer insight. I'll shift it a bit here. You need to have your consumer insight, and you need to know your demographics. Who's your target audience? For example, if you are selling shoes, or maybe premium shoes, costing about 100K for a pair of shoes, you should know that your target audience will probably not be people in Mushin who work 9 to 5 or who sell things on the road. No, that's not your target audience. Probably people who are CEOs of companies, who would travel to and fro overseas and everything. Those are the things you need to gather. You need to know the area they live. You need to know how they think, how they talk, their keywords and their languages. This is very, very particular when you need to target who you are selling to help you sell online better. Okay, so thirdly, on know your purpose, it's what is your price point? Price is one very major way to penetrate the market, and that is what big brands also use to penetrate the market. And to be able to get that, you need to know what the lowest sourcing price can be. If you are selling something for 20K, how can you make it possible that you get it at the lowest price possible? The lowest price possible, still the same quality you want. Notice there's something called quality and there's something called grade. For example, if you have school children that need probably nylon to take their lollies, I'm being very basic, to take their lollies from who they buy it from at the front of the school gate into the school, you know it's a very short walking distance, so you really don't need a premium nylon. A very basic, it can be very light. Basically, that nylon, the purpose of that nylon is just to wrap it and so that it's not looking so obvious as to what they are taking into class. So you don't need to look for a premium nylon. You can get the cheapest nylon possible that will still function normally. So that would be a different kind of grade in terms of a product, maybe not quality. So it's not bad quality, but it's just a different grade of nylon. So learn to source for your products at the lowest price possible, so you can make more money from it. Another thing you need to know is there are different prices. When you go to maybe a kiosk near you or a GSM supermarket, that's grocery supermarket, or somewhere around you, how much do they sell it? They sell it in the open market. The open market meaning if they go to Okiari, they go to trade fair, they go to inside. This one, you know, you have to be intentional. Nobody really lives around that axis, so they'll probably have to spend more money, dedicate more time to go get it there. So they will definitely get it cheaper, so wholesale price. The reason why you need to know this is so you'll be informed and it will guide you in setting your price, because price is a major selling force, especially in Nigeria. We're very bent on price. Now, this will help you to know. So in marketing, you have your 4 P's marketing mix. There are actually 7, but people mainly focus on 4. So you have the product, which you've spoken about. Determine your product. What is it you want to sell? What service do you want to sell? What do you want to pitch to people? Then you also have your price, which I've mentioned. So also when you know your price, you'll be able to add more margin to it and make it competitive enough. So when people are saying, just like in a normal market, why are you selling this from there? I can get it from Casabella at so price. I can get it from Kiarin at so price. You would have factored in that, okay, if your consumer was supposed to, so the consumer is charged as the end user, the last person going to use, that's your consumer. So if I go to Mushi Market now, I'll get it for so amounts. How come your own is high? You in your mind, you would have factored in transport that they will use to go there. Definitely, they're going to take up time to go there. So when you look at this, my price is not too high. So I have a position, I have an advantage and a reason to argue for it. I mean, to let's say convince people about the price when I'm selling online. So your price is very, very, it seems affordable and it makes sense because this is what runs through your consumer's mind when they're trying to buy something online. Then you add your margin and factor in delivery. Now, delivery is a very, very, very major thing in Nigeria. As we all know, things are expensive. Dispatch rider used to be able to charge 500, 1,000 conveniently. Now, sometimes 1,000, even 2,000, depending on the location. Now, for high-end products, you can charge delivery and pay for delivery, that kind of thing, but you know you would have factored it inside already. Then you also have, for low-end products, you probably have to build add delivery fee to it. In terms of you tell them, oh, payment, you can pay the dispatch rider on delivery, excluding delivery and everything. It's always sweeter to say that, oh, delivery has been charged, but in a case where your product is too high, then that's not easy. Also, if you're selling a forward cheap product, maybe it's for 1K or so, it won't be cost effective for someone to pay a delivery fee of 1,000 naira or even 500 naira sometimes, or maybe 1,500 or 2K to get something of 1,000 delivered. So how do you now maximize it? So if you're selling online, you probably will sell in bundles. You give additional offer to it. I don't know. At some point, I think I'll probably just take a brief break and try and see if the document will attach once more. But let me just go on for a while. Pastor Paul, hope that's fine with you.
That's okay. That's okay. Don't worry. Don't just go ahead. Okay. Just go ahead.
Okay. All right. So then you have where am I selling it to? Where do they live? Pastor Okwala made a very good example in terms of the drivers you're targeting and those staying in Lekki or Banana Island and all that. You need to know where they live. And the truth is, getting this data is actually not hard, thanks to Google Documents, Google, survey and all. You can always create the questions you want based on what you want to achieve and send it to all your contacts, promote it on Facebook, however. And I'd like to say that it's not enough to just share the link. Please follow, please like, please fill the survey and everything. Go ahead, go an extra mile and chat the person up. Another thing you need to remember is when you send broadcast or when you send a message, try to ensure that you've responded to the person's message before you send a broadcast. Now, in a case where you have to send a broadcast immediately, take note of those who have sent you messages that you have not responded, so you respond. Because people could feel, why do I need to read your message when you've not even responded to my message, so I'm not important, that kind of thing. So you need to respond to people's messages, and it gives that one-on-one rapport. So you send a broadcast, you go additional further, maybe you make a blog post now and you are sharing the link and you say, okay, I'll check it later. I say, okay, thank you, I look forward to it. Please like and subscribe or comment as well. And that's the reason why bloggers can get, at least for me, that's the reason why I have a couple of comments on my page and I've been recommended by one of the IT people that you have quite a number of comments compared to a regular page. And that's the reason, because I go an extra mile telling people, please like and subscribe, separately from like a personal chat and everything. So it helps, it's a call to action, which really helps. So where do your consumers reside? Know that. Where are the orders coming from? I had an experience where, okay, I launched my fashion collection at some point, and by the time I put it on GG and some places, I wasn't really getting order. But I noticed that the most effective or near to buy order was from someone in Ilorin and places outside Lagos. Reason being, Lagos is saturated. You can find 10 people selling the same thing you want on the street. So it's very competitive. Or in a market, you find like hundreds of people. But in these places that are not, maybe Ilorin is developed, are not as developed and as populated as Lagos, you probably won't get this kind of services, or you get it more expensive. So how do you leverage on that? You need to know that your consumers don't necessarily have to be in Lagos. You can do outside of Lagos. So you now take the further step is, how do I get it across to them? So the reason why it wasn't a successful order, one, was because there was a time constraint. The person wanted it like weekend, and it was like on a Thursday or Friday. I had to go and make, I was working, I had to go and make inquiry to ask, okay, how do I send it to Ilorin from a bus park? Because one needs to know how the price, because they're asking, okay, what's the delivery price? How do I send in the pack? Is this safe? Is this secure? How do they make? Blah, 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 blah. So with this, time had gone. But I took that learning and I made sure I had a record of how much each, most of the states have their, how much they charge for sending things through the bus and all that. So it helps to know, Lagos is not your only target audience. Find a way. And so this also means you learn on the job. As you sell your products, as customers keep asking questions, you can progress. Okay, so I've had 5 people ask me the same questions. That means there's something. I'll give another example. I went for a trade fair once and they were selling home decoration, interior things and all, really nice. So I rushed and said, okay, they have some carpets. How do you have those white carpets they use on Instagram for promoting things? And the 2 people attending looked at themselves and like, we'll have it later, it's not available, no longer available now. And I could tell you, most times now, don't say it's not available. We never said it, say, oh, we'll get it for you later, that's it. But I could tell that I wasn't the probably 5th person to ask them that. And they took that feedback that, oh, I wish we had, it would have made money. And I asked for the price and they gave me the price. And why is it that much? It's just a small rug and everything. But because it's on high demand. So I'm sure they took learnings from that, and in next trade fair, I'm sure they didn't miss out on selling that rug. So listen to your consumers. That's another way to gather data. Okay, sell your brand. That's the next one. So I said you need to, the first thing I said, know your purpose. That's your brand, who your target audience are, your consumers, the price and everything. Know your brand. So let me go back to share that the 7 marketing mix, the major 4 you should know, I'll keep it simple, is the product, the price, the place, and the promotion. And that's what I'm talking through. So sell your brand. What is your unique selling point? Is regarded as USP. What stands you out versus competition? What stands you out versus competition? You could say for a product, you have maybe some drinks have 28 vitamins and minerals and all that. That could stand you out. Maybe the other brand has 16. Or you selling, okay, I'm selling Turkish fabrics or Turkish clothes. Everybody knows that clothes from Turkey are quite expensive compared to other clothes, and people are willing to pay the price because it has been tried and tested. Turkish clothes, you pass it down, it doesn't tarnish. So it's very important that you're able to say, okay, what stands you out? Is it Turkish fabric? Is good quality? Is this and that? And in fact, that word Turkish fabric, nobody needs to explain anything because they know it will last, it feels good on the skin and all. And you also have your reason to believe RTB. You need a compelling proof that the brand can deliver on the USP. That is your unique selling point. A compelling proof. So I'll give the example of maybe a chocolate drink. Now, it's nice, everybody knows. The truth is, they are more or less almost the same thing. The taste could be different and all. But how would you prove to these people that is better than competition, and what proof do you have, tangible proof that they can almost hold? So this is more a very objective reason for them to believe. So that's where you come in and say, okay, it has 28 vitamins and minerals that helps you have enough energy to live through the day properly, things like that. And the minerals help for strong bones, this and that. Those are the kind of things you need to know. Now, you will not tell consumers, oh, my reason to believe is this, but you kind of infuse it in your day-to-day negotiation, in your day-to-day talk, in such a way that it's in the mind of the consumer. So when they're asking, why is this better than this, you've already given them something to say unconsciously. So when they are saying it, she's very this, she's very that, she has 28 vitamins and minerals, not knowing that It's me that made you know or believe that that is what I have and that's what you should use to defend the reason why you like this over the other. So own your brand. A lot of times you don't own your brand. You are your brand is you. So let people see what you sell. I'll give a funny example of Iru, for example. If you're an Iru seller, so I'm going very real. I'm going low premium, low class, middle class. The truth is, even the rich use Iru, so it's not, there's no class for it. So you are selling, that's low cost bin. When you want to target people living in Ikeja, Lekki, and all, you call it low cost bins. But if you want to target people living in Agege, Ajegunle, and everything, you have to spell it with Yoruba word there. Make it, that is their language. That is what they understand from the word go. So think about your brand. That's one mistake a lot of us make. Yes, you're working 9 to 5 and everything, but at least every day, think about your brand. I'm also talking to myself. Think about your brand every day. The reason why is it's in your subconscious mind. So ideas keep coming. You're also studying what people doing something similar to your brand is doing, and you are innovating. Think about your brand. Next, talk about it. You should be the person that talks about your brand the most. You should always talk about your brand. It's okay to be a talkative when it comes to talking about your brand. The next thing is post it, like it, comment on it, and share it. Everyone should know what to do. So what you do. So when it comes to posting, so no, you can see I'm not jumping into promotions yet. These are things necessary. Besides, when you promote a page, somebody looks, okay, what was the person selling before? How many years have they been selling these products? Are they credible? Are there comments on the page? So it's important. This is very important. So you need to post it, like it.
Okay.
So people have. Is my time off?
Go ahead. You have about, I believe, 5 minutes more.
Okay, no problem. So you need to post it, like it, comment about it. Keep talking about your brand. WhatsApp status, share it every time till everyone in your contact and outside your contact know what you do. The next is, I would like to add this. Proverbs 22, verse 29. It said, seeth a man diligent in all his ways. He shall stand before kings, he won't stand before mere men. The first word there is see. You need to see. How do they see? You need to let them see you. If you keep hiding under, you can't light a bulb. You can't light on the table. Be there, be in the position where people can see you. Make it easy for them to see. Would they hear talking about them regularly, talking about their brand regularly is the first person they see. I had this exercise planned up. It says, I wanted everyone to write in the comment section and says, when you think of then dash, put in your name.
Bye.
Think of dash, put in the name of your service. Social media. When you think, just write in the comment section. I'm sure maybe when comments are allowed, or I don't know what the idea is. So when you think of dash, that's me. You mention that at the back of your mind. You realize that for people to know, maybe they think of me, they think of print, they think of someone that can counsel them. They think of someone who share the word of God and make them deeper in Christ. Write it there. Once that is
what is it? What is it?
Like every you need to talk about it. Every brand has formal, that's your way of talking. You may want to be formal, that's what banks would do. You may want to be semi-formal. And sometimes you also have a place where you had humor or some other things to it. Now, what works well in Nigeria of late is humor. So you can be semi-formal plus humor, or it can be well, when you talk about formal, you probably won't talk of humor, but most people use the semi-formal tone of voice and formal. How do you apply this? So when you're putting your post out there, you you say it's informal. You don't say, welcome to our page. We have this is welcome to our page. Have you tried this? It is lovely. I mean, and you do the or GIF kind of thing or something like that. That's what I mean by brand tone. Then I'll move on to promotion. So there's a contact post. People talk about boosting. There's so for Facebook, you can easily boost your just very good for someone who's just starting, or if you want to do a quick promotion and all that. It's very basic, easy, and all. But if you want to go more detailed, you have the Facebook Ads Manager, in which you have the Facebook ad and launch different campaign all at the same amount you need to spend, check how much you can charge, all that. And you also have Instagram. So when I compare, Facebook is more detailed and like robust. Instagram is a bit more straight to the point also. Boost is straight to the point, but ads post on Facebook is more robust. So for someone who is just then, I'll advise you start from Boost, then you start from sponsored post on Facebook. A lot of people use Instagram. Yes, Instagram is good, but you must know that Instagram still hasn't taken the place of Facebook. You still have customers on Facebook. Ask any core brand person. They realize that very key. You may not have an Instagram page, but you need to have a Facebook page. You still have a lot of people who use Instagram page. But I'll mention this point first. Always have a call to action. Let people know what you want them to do. If you want them to fill a survey, please fill a survey. If you want to promote a post, say subscribe, sign in, learn more, click here. Things like that are very, very important, because you may have personal information and person, okay. But when you tell them, okay, click here, they say, oh, okay, let me just click here, that kind of thing. Very, very, very important, very important. Okay, so I said I had a slide with how it looks. So on Facebook, when you go to, if you have pages on Facebook, just go towards where you have pages, and you see an arrow that says ads. When you click on it, you have, if you have different brands you are managing, you probably click on the brand that you want to manage, and you see things like, you choose a goal, you have your boost a post, boost an Instagram post. Yes, so you can post a promotion on Facebook, can go straight to Instagram, straight up. Instagram, everyone on Instagram and everything, you know, they are very linked. You can also get more website visitors. Choose what you want to achieve on Facebook. That's why I said Facebook is very detailed. You can promote your page. You can choose to get more button clicks. You can choose to get more website visitors and get more leads. On Instagram, on the other hand, straight to the point, once you post a post, as you see, you even automatically see promote and all that. So once you click promote, it takes you there, or you look for the promotion button around the settings. It takes you there. So you either click where you want it to send, where to send people, that to your profile, to your website, or to your direct messages. After clicking that, then it takes you next to your target audience. The target audience, you can set it, or you can choose the automatic post on Instagram. You can set up a profile for example, maybe what next business, and you're talking about people that are business minded. So you type in keywords like entrepreneurship, and all. If you're selling shoes, you probably need to look at fashion, people interested in fashion, people from this age to what age, and all that. Those are things that you can do. Then you also click how much you want to spend. It's going to show you. If you are doing it for one day, you can spend, if you spend $5, this is the total amount you get. If you do increase it to 5 days, this is the total amount you get, and this is the estimated reach you would get from a huge amount of people you would reach, and you can always adjust it. Another thing for security reasons is, yes, your card. Now, some people have issues with the card. I know I had issues with the card once. I was using a GT Bank card, and it just wasn't working. I got my dollar card because of it. And for some reason, when the whole dollar exchange rate thing came from CBN and everything, it just stopped working. So I used my normal ATM card and I went to the bank to straight to issue. I ended up having to go 3 times. But once you go to customer care, they would enable it in such a way that you can do online transactions. Ensure you use a card that can do online transactions and do it. But I see that people will have access. Sorry, this is not, I'm not trying to promote things, but I'm trying to make it easy for people. I'm not trying to promote brands. People who have access bank cards find it easier to do it straight up without having to maybe tell the bank to do settings or it's not working and everything. So that's it. Then it shows the summary page. The summary shows you the destination where you're telling people to go, whether your profile or to a website. It shows you your budget, it shows you your summary and all that. And once you click approve, it sends to Facebook, who is the owner of everything, Facebook, Instagram, all that. And it sends to it. And 24 hours, it take less depending on the pressure and all that. So they can take 30 minutes sometimes. I've had it on 1 hour. No. What other tip would I like to give people? I think that's all for now. That's the end of my slide.